Hi everyone, welcome to the webinar for the 2018 Irish Cancer Society Stimulus Awards. So this webinar will describe the Stimulus Award for the Biomedical Sciences. And if anyone has any questions, please select the speech bubble, which is at the bottom left of the application window, and type your questions here. Just to note that all questions and answers will be visible to all participants in the webinar. So I'm just going to go through the outline of the webinar for today. So today we are going to cover the aims of the Stimulus Award, the eligibility criteria, the assessment procedure, the application procedure, and the application form. So here I'm going to spend some time discussing the lay research pitch. So the general aims of the Stimulus Awards are to provide an extra injection of funding to allow an existing research project to become highly competitive and impactful, to act as a launchpad for the researcher to pursue large-scale extramural funding, and finally to expedite the researcher's career development. There are a number of aims to the Stimulus Award. So it aims to support activities necessary to evolve an existing research project to a point where it can be considered competitive for leveraging large-scale extramural funding, to support the career development of the early-stage cancer researcher, to foster national and international collaborations, to promote innovation, and to further the cancer research knowledge base. So I'm just going to go through the eligibility criteria for this award. The eligibility criteria allows for untenured postdoctoral scientists who have an existing biomedical cancer research project. So you must be committed to progressing your cancer research career. You must not be tenured for a lectureship position when applying, and you must have between 2 and 9 years research experience following the submission date of your doctoral degree. So if anyone's uncertain of their eligibility, you can just contact us at grants@irishcancer.ie before you apply, or just message us here today in the bottom left corner. Before I go through the application form, I just want to bring everyone's attention to the assessment procedure for the Stimulus Award. So the deadline for applications is the 24th of October 2018. Applications will be reviewed by an international scientific review panel. So they will shortlist the top applicants to progress to Stage 2. Stage 2 will comprise of a patient review. So the patient panel will review the lay research pitch from the shortlisted applicants, which we will discuss later in the webinar. The patient panel will choose the successful recipient for this award. So now I'm going to bring you through to the application form. So to navigate to the online form, go to grants.cancer.ie, select the Stimulus Award related to biomedical science. So this is noted here with the red square. And please ensure that you do not select the Social and Allied Health Sciences Stimulus Award, as the application forms are quite different. Once you have located the Biomedical Science Stimulus Award 2018, please click Apply. So this is the application form you will see. So on the left, again noted with a red box, are the sections of the form. So you will need to complete each section, and once each section is complete, you will see a small green tick. The first section of the form is the introduction. So this section provides you with the objective, the funding, and the eligibility information for the Stimulus Award. This is the same information as contained in the application guidelines. So the next section is the project outline section. The project outline is an overview of the project. You will be asked details such as the project title, the start date, the duration, and so on. Please note that projects cannot begin before March 2019, and they cannot last longer than 12 months. Please note that the research must take place at an institution in the Republic of Ireland. This is because research is funded through money raised in the Republic of Ireland. After the project outline, you will be asked to upload your CV. So there's a template available for this, and it is provided on the online system and on our website. After uploading your CV, you will be asked to identify a mentor for your project and state their suitability for you and your project. You must add your mentor to the application, and your mentor must confirm their participation. You cannot submit your application unless your mentor has confirmed their participation. Then, once you have submitted your completed application, your mentor must approve the application. Your application will not be reviewed if your mentor has not approved it. Mentor approval must be complete prior to the closing date of 3 p.m. on October 24th. You must outline why your chosen mentor is a suitable mentor for you and for this award. Therefore, you must provide a statement of mentor suitability. Once you have added your mentor, you must then upload a CV for your mentor. This template is different to the applicant's CV template. The mentor CV should be completed using the template which is available to download in this section of the online system and also from our website. The project summary section of the application is where you will describe the proposed project in detail. In this section, you will first be asked to describe the existing research project which forms the basis of your proposed project. So here you must describe the background, the hypothesis, the aims, and the results to date of this research project. Secondly, you will be asked to outline the proposed project for which the Stimulus Award will fund. So here you must describe the hypothesis, the aims and objectives for this award, in addition to the proposed methodology and summary and conclusions. Just to remember here, the Stimulus Award is intended to enhance an existing research project. The Stimulus Award should act as a stepping stone. So as such, you are required to explain how the award will enhance your existing research project. So the enhancement of a project can be measured by its output. Following the Stimulus Award funding period, it is expected that you will apply for a competitive research grant to leverage sizable funding from an external funding organisation. You will have to provide us with a sustainability plan. You must justify how the Stimulus Award is relevant to you and detail the relevant funding body or bodies to which a future proposal will be submitted. You must detail the eligibility criteria. This will include the applicant eligibility for the research programme to which a future proposal will be submitted. You must indicate how the Stimulus Award will make you eligible for your selected future proposal and how the Stimulus Award will make your applications more competitive. So next we move on to the career development plan. The Stimulus Award not only aims to enhance a research project, but it's also important that it enhances the career of the recipient. So in this section, you are going to be asked to describe the immediate and long-term goals of your career and how the Stimulus Award will actually contribute to this. Next, I will discuss the lay research pitch section, which is split into two different sections. The first section is public and patient involvement. So here I'm just going to discuss what PPI is and why it's important. So what is PPI? PPI stands for public and patient involvement. So how people with cancer can actually interact with research. There are many ways that they can be involved. So the first is participation. So people with cancer can be recruited into a research study and take part by providing some form of data. The next is engagement. This is where a researcher can communicate and disseminate the research to people with cancer. So for example, at public talks. And the next one is involvement. So this is where people with cancer are involved in any stage of the research process. So the research is therefore conducted with or by people with cancer. So why is PPI important? PPI is very important. The Irish Cancer Society are committed to putting patients, families, survivors, supporters, and the public at the very heart of what we do. The Irish Government's National Cancer Strategy from 2017 to 2026 reinforces this commitment, and we are working towards embedding PPI in all our research processes. So for the Stimulus Award, for example, we are embedding PPI as part of the review process, which I spoke about earlier. Next, I will discuss the importance of the lay research pitch section of your application. So I will give specific guidelines and examples for completing this section. So firstly, I would like to bring your attention back to the assessment procedure for the Stimulus Award. So full applications will be reviewed by the scientific panel. This will include the lay research pitch. The scientific panel will shortlist the top applicants to progress to stage 2. So here in stage 2, this will consist of the patient panel, and the patient panel will review the lay research pitch. The patient panel will also review the lay research pitch comments and scores that have been provided by the scientific review panel process, and they will take these into consideration when choosing the final recipient for this award. So we have prepared specific guidelines for this section of the application. So these guidelines can be found in the appendix section of the application form, and they will be discussed here in this webinar. So first of all, you must write the lay research pitch in plain English, and it must be understandable to a non-scientific audience. So a quick test that you could do is maybe ask yourself if a 12-year-old would actually understand the pitch. Do not overstate the importance or the impact of your findings, as you will run the risk of being scored lower before reaching stage 2. So I'm going to go through some of the guidelines for writing in plain English. So when writing the lay research pitch, you must write it in plain English, and this is really important. Some key guidelines for writing in plain English are as follows. So avoid technical or scientific terminology, use everyday words, and avoid scientific jargon if possible. Use short, clear sentences and paragraphs, and use an active voice throughout. So it is also important when you're writing in plain English that you do not become casual or unprofessional. So for example, avoid using the words don't or can't. You must use the correct tone. ensure all grammar, punctuation, and spelling are correct. And if there's a lot of information, sometimes bullet points can actually make it easier to digest and to follow the information. So next I will give an example of some scientific language versus plain language. For example, the following is an extract from a scientific abstract. So following treatment of breast cancer cell lines BT474 and HCC 1954 with drug X, migration and invasion was significantly inhibited. So this is scientific language. But when written in plain English, this sentence might read as, when we treated breast cancer cell lines with drug X, the cell lines used in our study were unable to spread. So for this section, you must provide a structured, descriptive, and realistic research pitch. So here, you will be asked to, number one, describe the problem, issue, or question that you are asking in your research proposal. So this is where you will describe the context of your project. Number two, you should detail why this problem, issue, or question is important to patients. This question concerns the impact of your research to patients. Next, describe how your project fits into the broader conversation within this cancer area and what this project adds to that conversation. This question concerns the impact of your research in your scientific field. And number four, you must also give details as to how you will publicize your research findings. I will give specific examples now with respect to questions 2 and 3. So question 2 reads, why is that problem, issue, or question important to patients? So here you need to describe the impact your research will have for patients. The public want to be informed about research. You must therefore adequately communicate your research and only state the true impact of your research. So next I'm going to provide an example of an overstated impact and a true impact, and this will help you in answering question 2. Just to note that this is a simplified example and is intended to get the concept of true impact across. So the abstract reads, sometimes treatments can stop working for a patient. It is important that we find other drugs that the patient can then be treated with when this happens. Our research will tell us if the drug we are working on will stop cancer spreading. If it does, then this drug could be a treatment for cancer patients. So this is an overstated impact, as this is preliminary work in cancer cell lines. So what the true impact would read at the end is, if it does, then we will need to test this drug further in other cancer models in the hope that it can be tested in clinical trials and potentially be used as a treatment for cancer patients in the future. So next I'm going to move on to question 3, which is, how does this project fit into the broader conversation within this cancer area, and importantly, what does it add to the conversation? So the nature of this knowledge impact is specific to each project, and it can occur over different timescales. So for some research, the impact may be direct, in the short or the medium term. For others, the research will contribute to a wider conversation on cancer, with impact becoming apparent in the long term. So knowledge impact recognizes the contribution that a particular research project has made towards the advancement of science and to the cancer research knowledge base. So when communicating impact, it is also useful to identify the different means by which your research can be impactful. So an example of an answer to this question would be as follows. Please note again that this is a simplified answer to this question. So the answer reads as, in all the years of breast cancer research, this is the first time that scientists have identified drug X as an important drug for targeting breast cancer cells in this way. Drug X prevents the breast cancer cells from making a particular protein that they need to be able to spread. This is a very new discovery in the area of cancer research, and we are hopeful that other researchers will use this knowledge and this drug to look at other cancer types in the future. We've provided some general resources which are available online. So these links are here and they are also present in the application form. So next I'm just going to move on to the declarations of support. So you'll need one from your mentor and one from the head of your department. And these are in sections 10 and 11. So we have provided a template on our website and on the online system. A letter of support must be completed on headed paper. So you're going to need 2 declaration forms, as I previously said, one from your mentor and one from the head of your department. So just to note here that the deadline for submission of applications is the 24th of October 2018. So please ensure that all required documentation and declarations are submitted on time, as anything received afterwards will not be assessed. So the next section of the application form is the budget section. So the maximum funding for the stimulus award is €30,000 over a 12-month period. So in this section, you're going to be asked to detail and justify the breakdown of costs for your project. We will also allow a maximum of €3,000, which may be budgeted for travel and dissemination costs, but must be justified within the remit of the stimulus award. Please note, final approval of all budgeted costs is at the discretion of the Irish Cancer Society. And then finally, the validation summary. So you will not be able to submit your application until all required fields are completed. The validation summary will list all sections, and any sections that are not fully completed will be detailed here. So finally, I just want to bring your attention back to the assessment procedure and the timelines for the stimulus awards. So like I said previously, the closing date is the 24th of October at 3 p.m. All eligible applications will be reviewed by the scientific review panel, and then the top applicants will be shortlisted. So then the patient panel will review the lay research pitch of shortlisted applicants and will select the recipient of the stimulus award. And just to note that the start date for this award will be March 2019. So that actually concludes our webinar for today. So thank you all for your attention and for attending. All FAQs and link to the presentation of the webinar, so this will actually include the audio and the transcript, will be available on www.cancer.ie in the coming week. If you require any further assistance, so with the application form, or if you have any specific questions relating to any of the sections or the eligibility, please contact us at grants@irishcancer.ie and we will get back to you. And we're here for another little while. If anyone wants to ask any further questions, just pop them into the bottom left speech bubble and we'll get back to you. Thank you very much.